Well, I just picked up a nice Weirrock Vindicator. Actually, you say it Vindicator with like a V. It's a German company that's been making them for probably about 25 years or so. And they make a good solid revolver. It's got a 4-inch barrel. It's the nickel plated one, not stainless steel. And with nickel, I know sometimes people like a little bit, they could be a little turned off by nickel plating because you ever see the older revolvers, the nickel plating's flaking off. If you want to avoid that, you know, the bore solvent, don't go putting it all over this stuff, because what they do is they put copper over the steel and then they put nickel over that. So a lot of times you got this bore solvent that's designed to take out copper fouling, and you know, if it gets under there after a real long period of time, it could actually make the nickel screw up. Otherwise, you know, 50 years from now, this thing will look exactly the same as it was. This was the technology that was used before stainless steel, but actually it's just as damn good, actually, to tell you the truth. If you take care of it right. So don't use bore cleaner on the actual surface. You should be fine. 6 shots, and it's double action. You know, it's a good solid revolver. Again, I got the 4-inch barrel. The grips, just fine, man. You can tell it's got a pretty long pull on the trigger, pretty hard pull. That's a good safety in itself, because you got to really pull that trigger far and long for the double action. It's one good thing about revolvers. I mean, to me, they're a lot safer than the Glock. To me, I don't know. That's the way I think. It's a heavy piece of steel too, man. It's heavier, but it's a solid, well-made revolver. And in the price range, these are like $300 something. And I don't see what the hell's the difference between these and a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger or something. You know, personally, I'd go for the Ruger over Smith & Wesson, but I went for this because it's really just as good as any of them. It's a good workhorse revolver. It's not like GQ Trigger or something like that. And as in with anything, as you break it in a little more, it works a little smoother, but everything actually does seem to work pretty smooth on it. Now, another thing I like about 357 is you can fire 38 with it. Somebody say, why is that? Well, why is that good? Well, 38, if you're reloading, these aren't reloads, these are factory loads. But if you this actually is a good defensive round, believe it or not, the semi-wad cutter, believe it or not. But don't go into reasons why, because it's just flat. It doesn't need to expand. It's flat on the end. It's semi-flat. You know, not a wad cutter, semi-wad cutter. But the 38 is great to fire, especially if you're reloading, because you can use the hard cast bullets, and you don't have to load them that hot or anything like that. It's a pleasure to shoot. In other words, it's not that hard to shoot it. It's not a lot of recoil, and you're not using as much powder. And if you use hard cast bullets in like lower velocities with not a hot load on a 38, you can use hard cast bullets. Hard cast bullets are much cheaper, you know, the projectile itself. So that's one thing. And okay. So they're coming in from Florida. European Arms Corporation, whatever. It's called EAA, European American Armoring. That's what EAA, not European Arms. It's EAA Corp. A European American Armory Corp. So, Millen Ratch, whatever, I don't know what that guy says, but anyway, that's where it was. It's a Weirrock. That's what the brand is. And you actually don't say it Windicator, you actually say it Vindicator. It's that, you know, it's written like W in German or something. It's like a V. So there you go. But the other thing is, I also got the 4-inch barrel. Have you ever shot if you get a 2-inch barrel revolver, especially if you're going to get it for concealed carry or something like that, get a 38 special. Don't get a 357 with a 2-inch barrel. If you got a 3-inch barrel, fine. 3 or 4-inch barrel, because you got so much muzzle flip with that damn thing. It's ridiculous. It's almost like, I don't know, you can do whatever you want, but I mean, you have to be pretty damn skilled with a 357 2-inch barrel for a second follow-up shot. And you're probably not going to like firing that thing on the range for practice too much. You know, but like I said, the 4-inch barrel, this is actually kind of big for concealed carry, but you could do it. You know, concealed winter carry. But it's a good match, too, with the Marlin lever action. when you're firing out of a 20-inch barrel the same round, I don't know what it is. It's like 50% more energy. It's some ridiculous amount more. You could be carrying the same ammo with you, so you can have 6 shots in one, and 10+1 in the Marlin lever action. And I have a Smith & Wesson Model 66 and 6-inch barrel, but I wanted something more weatherproof and a little shorter. Yeah, sights are, hard to say about the sights. The sights are pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's just their sights. But when I tell you the truth, when you're looking down these things, more or less, you're not really, I don't know, to me, there's like shooting for score on a target, then there's kind of like point shooting. So you're not really using the sights that much, but what I kind of like about it, just a big square flat piece up here. It goes all the way down. In other words, sometimes you'll see it's just flat up here for short distance, then it's like the barrel's right here. I kind of like that where you got this big long ramp. It's like that because that enables you to get on the sight picture a lot quicker, it looks like to me. And to me, I'm not a fan of, I think polymer guns are great because they're real lightweight, and you don't have to worry about rust or anything. But I do not like that part where you got the safety in the trigger. I think it's advantageous for like the military and law enforcement and stuff. But, if you're carrying, to me this is a safer gun because it's a safer pistol because this has got a long, shouldn't really dry fire it, but it has a long, hard pull. I mean, you got to really pull on it. I mean, not in single action, but in double action. So that makes it a lot safer. And of course, if it's in a holster and this is covered up the trigger, if you got your 6 rounds in there, you're good to go. Doesn't look like there's any kind of external block safety on it or anything like that. It's just a regular steel revolver the way it should be. This is just a good solid chunk of steel, man. Everything looks good, man. Good big extractor. The grips are fine. I mean, somebody would say like, I heard they don't have aftermarket grips for these, or maybe they do, but not too many offerings, maybe 1 or 2. To me, these grips are absolutely fine. They seem fine. And it's got enough weight up front. Well, if you're firing a 357, it's not going to. I tell you, when you fire a 2-inch barrel 357, that thing flips up so much. You can actually affect your point of aim by how tight you hold it. If you're holding it with 2 hands or one hand, you'll be hitting in different places, like elevation-wise, because of the muzzle flip. So, if you get a shorter barrel, opt for like a 3-inch versus a 2-inch and a 357. If you're going to go with a 2-inch, I'd recommend you go with a 38 special only. But do whatever you want. I mean, I guess with a 357, you always got the option of using 38 special. But firing a 357 from a 2-inch barrel, it's like, it is a little ridiculous, in my opinion. It's got so much muzzle flip and muzzle flash, and, it's like, depending on how you hold the weapon, it kicks up a lot more, and your point of impact will be different on the elevation. And the other thing is, it's a hell of a lot harder to aim, with only being down to here, going that sight radius. The 3-inch is good too. That's a good compromise. 3 or 4 inches is kind of like your standard revolver. I got one with a 6-inch barrel, which is it's great for shooting a little longer distance for a pistol, but this should be more practical. But it doesn't break the bank. That's the thing. A lot of these other guns, to me, if this had Smith & Wesson on it, you wouldn't know the difference, to tell the truth, man. I mean, it's not. I mean, somebody might say it's not as refined or something, but that's not what I really consider the most important thing. Does it work? Is it heavy duty? Is it going to last a long time? Is it reliable? Is it accurate? It's got all this stuff. It's got what the hell you want it to do in a 357. So there's your Wear Rock Vindicator 357 6-shot revolver in nickel plate, nickel, which nickel lasts forever if you take care of it right. Don't go putting bore cleaner all over it. Don't go soaking it in bore cleaner. That's usually how they screw them up. And that won't screw them up right away, but it'll screw them up eventually. And, you know, use regular bore cleaner in a bore only. That's it. The only thing that could possibly go wrong with this usually is a screw might come loose in here or some shit like that, you know. That's just normal on anything, but otherwise these are pretty damn reliable pistols. And it's an old school thing. 357 Magnum in nickel. Matter of fact, the police used to carry the nickel because it's severe duty, weather duty, and all this kind of garbage. You know, it's not really for looks, it's because of rust. And high humidity places like Southeast USA, Florida, it's a good thing to have this. Very good thing. And if you want to put some like regular gun oil on it, no problem. That gun oil won't hurt the finish, you know, won't get under the nickel. It's only like that, and that doesn't do this right away. I just want to point that out. You know, if you use the bore cleaner that's designed to especially clean up copper, like if it gets through some kind of microscopic part and it starts getting under there, it could dissolve the copper that holds the nickel on. So you don't want to put these old bore cleaner all over it. If you don't do that, if you take care of it right, you know, 80 or 100 years from now, it's going to look just like that. The nickel will hold up that long. You know, just make sure you take care of it. So, it comes with a little lock. That's cute. High security. High security padlocks. Look how big that thing is. You probably cut it with a nail clipper, right? But I guess you got to do that for legal reasons. Anyway, another gun. So, Nancy P. selling some more.